in the grand tapestry of Nouvelle-France's early history. Among the explorers and merchants, one figure stands out, not for his sword or his ledger, but for his pen. Marc Lescarbot, the main chronicler of the early Acadian settlements, offers a unique window into the life struggles and intellectual currents of this fledgling colonial world. His contributions, from the first theatrical performance in North America to his monumental history, provide an indispensable, humanistic perspective on the dawn of French presence in the Americas. More than just a settler, Lescarbot was the colony's first poet, playwright, and humanist, giving the story of portrayal a direct, intellectual link to the burgeoning ideas of his time, making him a fascinating subject for episode 5, The Point of No Return. Marc Lescarbot was not your typical colonist, driven solely by the promise of wealth or land. He was a product of the European Renaissance, a well-educated lawyer, poet, and a historian who had established a practice in the bustling heart of Paris. His life, however, took a dramatic turn through his professional connections. One of his clients was Jean de Bincourt, the very man who would become the seigneur of Port-Royal in Acadia. Intrigued by Patrincourt's vivid stories of the New World, and growing weary of the endless disputes and corruption of the Parisian legal system in the early 16th century, Lescarbot made a life-altering decision. In 1606, he packed his bags, left his law career behind, and set sail for the earliest settlement of Acadia, trading the stone corridors of the Palais de Justice for the vast, unknown forests of North America. This lawyer had become an adventurer, ready to document a new chapter in history. Upon arriving at the small settlement of Port-Royal for the winter of 1606 to 1607, Lescarbot quickly assumed a vital and unprecedented role in the early settlement of Port-Royal. With his intellectual background and artistic sensibilities, Marc Lescarbot became the de facto cultural director of the isolated community. He recognized the need for morale and intellectual stimulation during the long, harsh Canadian winter. His most famous contribution during this time was a spectacular piece of theater, designed to celebrate the safe return of his friend Patrincourt from a perilous exploratory voyage. Staged in the natural amphitheater of the Port-Royal harbor, the Théâtre de Neptune in La Nouvelle-France, or the Theater of Neptune in New France, it was an elaborate masque. It featured actors portraying the sea god Neptune and his tritons, who emerged from the water to welcome the weary sailors. The performance, a clever blend of classical pagan mythology and praise for the French king. It is now widely credited as the first theatrical work, written and performed in North America outside of the established Spanish colonies. It was a bold declaration of European culture on a new continent. While his theatrical pursuits brought life to the settlement, Lescarbot's most enduring legacy is his monumental literary work, Histoire de la Nouvelle, first published in 1609. Just 2 years after his return to France, the book became an immediate and influential success. It was far more than a dry recitation of events. It was a vivid, deeply personal, and often opinionated account of the French attempts to colonize the Americas, covering expeditions to Brazil, Florida, and, of course, Acadia. In its pages, Lescarbot championed a more pragmatic approach to colonization. He argued against the obsessive, often ruinous search for gold and precious metals, pleading instead for a focus on agriculture, fishing, and the fur trader realism grounded in harvesting the colony's abundant natural resources. His history provided Europeans with one of the most comprehensive and engaging narratives of the New World available at the time. Beyond his roles as a lawyer, playwright, and historian, Marc Lescarbot was fundamentally a scholar and a humanist, a man deeply influenced by the intellectual skepticism and curiosity of Renaissance thinkers. Like Michel de Montaigne, this humanistic spirit is most evident in his interactions with and writings about the indigenous peoples of the region, the Micmac, whom he referred to as the. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Lescarbot approached the Micmac with genuine curiosity and respect. He took the time to learn about their customs, social structures, and languages, meticulously recording his observations. He documented their songs and chants, preserving a piece of their oral culture for posterity. His linguistic interest was so keen that he is credited with introducing the Micmac word caribou into French, a term that has since become universal. Through his detailed and empathetic descriptions, Lescarbot provided a rare, early European perspective that viewed indigenous people not as mere but as a complex society with its own rich culture and traditions. It forever shapes our understanding of these crucial first encounters. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. Please like and subscribe if you find this valuable, as it allows us to make more. And for additional information on this person and others on that journey, you can find the author's novel, The Point of No Return, on Audible and Amazon.